I'm joined in the studio today with a gorgeous, goal-oriented, classy, fashionable, everything. Just think about it. This woman has done it all at just the age of 23. And I would like her to introduce herself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome NANJI Nawila. Yeah, so Nanji, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for hosting me. My name is Ivwananji Nawila, just as you said, Nanji. I'm from the Copper Belt, Luansha to be specific. I'm 23 years old. I am a student studying in Russia, pursuing agronomy, and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I'm a restaurant owner, saloon owner, a money lender, and I'm into fashion, female clothing. Yeah, so that's basically it about me.
Yeah, man. You're seeing this. She's a handful, guys. She's done it all. She's doing it all at just the age of 23, guys. Did you hear her age? 23, and she's already having 4 businesses of her own while it's pursuing her career. And that's something that should be motivating to someone out there, of course, right? Yeah. So, Nanji, can you please just um, tell the listeners, how do you balance this school life with work and your businesses and all?
Okay, so I can't really say it's easy. It's really been very stressful. Okay, so considering the fact that I'm a student and we know school is involving, and also I'm doing business, from a distance. I'm in Russia. All my businesses are based in Zambia. So it's really been stressful. But at the end of the day, how I manage is when I talk of school wise, school is school. It's going to be hard all the time, but you just have to show up and do what you have to do. So I do what I have to do school wise. And when I talk of business, honestly speaking, business, it's how I manage my businesses is with the help of the people around me. When I talk of the people around me, I talk of my mother, who literally handles everything for me. She's literally put her life on pause to, handle all the businesses for me. So she's on the ground with full support and everything. And yeah, also my friend, my best friend also helps me run the businesses when he can, so yeah, basically I run my that's how I run my businesses. And then on the part of work, also you just have to know your time management, when to do schoolwork, when to handle your business meetings, and when to work. So I work with a schedule. That's what I can say.
Okay. Yeah. So Nanji, you really captivated me on a point where you said your mom and your friend help you out. Have they really helped you, like, in your business and helped you grow? Like, what specific thing do they do, like, to help you out with your businesses?
Okay, so like I said, business can be stressful, So there are times where, you have to give out instructions, you have to do everything, everything that has to do with running a business. And, in life generally, you have to surround yourself with the right people, people who are ready to support your goals and your vision fully, people who are rooting for you, people who want to see your goals come to life and achieve what you want to achieve. So those are the people that I'm surrounded with, So my mother, like, always handles everything on the ground, making sure the workers are doing what they're supposed to do, instructions that I give out, how I want things to be run, my vision and everything, and all those things, Also the physical work that has to be done, she's the one that is there to ensure that the physical work is done. And also my best friend also, when I need help with certain things, to say, okay, I need help with this, I need help with that, he's always there to say, okay. And when it gets very stressful, where you just feel like I can't do this, they're there to tell you, say, okay, what can we do about this? This has becomes, we have this problem, how can we sort it out? Or say, okay, let's do this, and the solutions I give, they're all like hand in hand, trying to help me sort out whatever is stressing and everything that comes with running the businesses. So yeah.
I think it's a very good thing to have those people that are around you, that because literally a man is not an island. They say
Yeah,
that, yes. So
it's always important to surround yourself with the right people,
the right
because
people, yeah.
people can bring you down. Your friends, your family members, if you're surrounded by the wrong people, they will eventually bring you down. But the right people, and it's very rare to find people who are actually all out rooting for you, you know. It's really not easy also. And also surround, even I'll not shy away from the fact that my partner is also very supportive, you know,
Yeah.
in a way that when I need help, in a way that
she's taken. So yeah, just to be specific on that.
so yeah, my partner is also very supportive, a very supportive partner, that if I have things going on, they also sit down to say, okay, what can we do, you know, what can we do, how can we handle this. So all those people in my life have really helped me run things in the way that they're supposed to be run, and also keep me going.
Well, very much important. So just find, you're hearing, listeners, just find that someone or that group of people that will help you and motivate you to grow and expand in this venture that you're trying to get into. And then yeah, on that note, what's the thing that you wish someone had told you before you had started? What's something that somebody should have told you like before you started the business?
Okay. So there are a few things, or rather, no, some points that I wish and certain things that I wish I knew before starting a business. Because let's face it, normally as people, when we're starting up businesses, we just want to hear the good side of the business, to say, you hear to say, this one has a restaurant. Oh, okay. So how much do you make in a month? How much do you make in a day? What can I make in a year? You know, all those things, we just want to hear the good part, because that's what you want to do. You want to make the money, to say, okay, this person tells you I make 15,000 per month. Oh, you even start making calculations. So if I make 15,000 a month, those are the things we want to hear when we're starting up a business. But honestly speaking, the things that I really, really wish I knew, that I've actually come to learn in the process of running the businesses, is one, business will kill you. Let's not, business will kill you. Honestly speaking, it takes a lot to run a business. And also risk management, you know. You really have to know, to say, starting a business is a risk. You know, you do not know how things are going to turn out. So you have to know how to manage those risks. Find out, this business I want to venture in, what are the risks, you know, that I might encounter. What are some of the things that I might face as I run this business? So as you get to know the risks, you are going to know how to manage the business very well, because you know how to sort out those risks if at all they arise, you know. And also the other thing is financial management, you know. Something that I wish somebody told me is that you really need to keep track of your finances. Oh, what I mean is that, of course, we have records, what's going in and what's coming, but even the smallest, tiniest things, you know, you find that, okay, we buy soap to clean the place for 10 kwacha, but at the end of the day, you find that as the month ends, you literally spend a lot. And, you know, I never really used to take note of those small things, you know, what comes in, what goes out. Okay, what did I buy today? You know, all those things. And also the other thing is, I wish somebody told me to say, business, when you're starting up a business, at least the first 3-4 months, you need to keep on pumping money into the business, you know, because when you start up a business, somebody tells you to say, I make this amount of money. You'll be there thinking, okay, at least maybe when I'm starting, I can even be making half of what I'm making. But that's not really mostly the case, because when you start up a business, you're bringing something new to people, you know. So you're building a brand. So that requires a lot, and you will not make what you think you would make in a month or 2 or 3. So at least when you're starting up a business, set aside some money, you know, away from the research of what you need to start up that business, the capital, this, that, set aside some money at least to run that business, as maybe in a couple of 3 to 4 months, you know, because one thing, that's a mistake that I made, to say, okay, this is what I need, this is the capital that I need to start up this business. And then in the long run, I see to say, okay, you are learning, you know, so you did not to avoid this, that, so you find yourself, you made some losses, this has happened, and at the end of the day, you haven't really made the profit that you actually thought you would make to sustain the workers, the rent, and everything. So at the end of the day, you find yourself stressed. You start borrowing money to run the business, things like that. So, but if you plan very well, you set aside to say, okay, I know, of course, you want that business to be successful, but I'm building a brand. People don't know me, I'm marketing, I'm this, so let me put aside some money to run that business. And also the other thing, so that you don't have to, that's why people get to give up, because you didn't have that amount of money. Why are you going to get the money to start paying workers every month? Why are you going to get the money to pay rent every month when the business is not making something? The business is not making what you actually thought it's going to make. So at the end of the day, you give up, you close up, But if you plan very well to say, okay, these 4 months, let me see how things go. Let me set aside this amount of money. Let me set aside this amount of money to run that business. Then you're good to go,
Yeah, wow, you really spoke something right there, because I myself am also I also started a business recently, and back then I was just thinking about it. Okay, let me just start a business. You know what I'm saying? I'll just have to get this and that, and then the business will be going to be all right.
It's buying and selling.
Yeah, we'll be getting some money in this place, but not knowing that at the end of it, though, I had to start pumping in more things. Like I started looking. Okay, I'll need this. People ask you for this. No, do you have such a service? Do you have such a service? And I needed to buy more products and more equipment. And it has just been like, okay, I'm pumping in more money, and I'm not getting the money that I am pumping in. Like, I'm not getting back that money. So like, it was a point where I even thought of like, okay, let me just give up, because you know what I'm saying. But yeah, like saying as you have said, like this thing is you just have to look at what you have and don't give up on the goal that you had in the first place. Yeah, you just have to continue doing whatever you want to do.
You have to keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah. So yeah, and another thing you said, when you get stressed, overwhelmed, how do you cope with that, and how do you recharge per se?
Okay, so you mean when, business gets hard, the stresses and okay. So, of course, it's overwhelming and it's a struggle. It's really a lot. There are challenges that come with running businesses and everything. So, how I get to cope up, or anybody, I feel like anybody, how do you cope up as a person? Or how do you restart? It's first things first, remind yourself, why did you start? It's very important. You set a goal for yourself. When you're starting a business, right? You're setting a goal. We are different people from different backgrounds. We have different reasons as to why we start businesses, But then if you started a business, maybe, for example, you come from a certain background and you're creating a future for yourself. That's something you need. You remind yourself, why did you start? When it gets hard, remind yourself, why did I start? That's something that's going to motivate you. If it needs write down, oh, I need to take care of my mother, I need to do this, I need to do that. Make sure you remind yourself to say, okay, things are hard, but then why did I start? So that you don't, shy away from the fact that, okay, things are hard, but I need to keep going for this reason. All right? So always remind yourself why you started. Because trust me, if you really need somebody to push you to start every single time and you need people to come and motivate you, then you are privileged. People who are privileged really don't, even if they keep on going or not, it doesn't make a difference. But you who's not privileged, to say you need this, you really have to remind yourself to say, no, my own is different. My story is different. If I don't do this, this is affected. If I don't do this, where am I going? Where am I? You remind yourself, why did you start? Then you keep going. Because I always remind myself to say, I started because of this. Okay, I know this is hard. You feel like, no, I think I can't manage. But then when I stop, what of this? This is going to be affected. Then how am I going to live? What of my mother? What of my sibling? What of this? All those things, remind yourself why you started. And trust me, you'll be motivated, When you just remind yourself to say, this is a reason as to why I started. This is a motive that I started this. And you're going to restart and you're going to recharge. So that's how I recharge. That's how I restart.
Amazing. Yeah. I feel you on that, yeah. Can you please tell me what's one fear or insecurity that you have had to overcome over the years when starting the business?
Okay, the fear that I had to overcome is the fear to fail, you know? Because trust me, most of us, well, most people have the money, but they do not want to do what they want to do because they're scared, they're afraid they're going to fail. And that's normal, honestly speaking. Because business is like this stranger that you do not know. This person that you just meet today, you don't know the person. That person might be, a criminal, might be. That's the same applies with business. When you're starting business, you don't know how it's going to go. So most people focus mostly on, if I fail, you know, I've been saving up this money for years and I might fail. So you're second thinking things, you're skeptical about starting something because you're scared to fail. And that's normal. And I used to feel like that as well. But the moment I told myself, okay, what if this works out, And that's the fear that I had to overcome. Just starting is the hardest thing. So the moment you overcome that fear of starting, that fear of failing, because when you're doing something, obviously it goes both ways. It can either be successful or it might fail. But once you overcome that fear of what if it works out, you overcome the fear of what if it doesn't work out with what if it works out. And trust me, the moment you start, just starting in itself is enough. Because there are a lot of people who have the money, but they're skeptical on starting, because they're scared that they're going to fail. But the moment you start, that's already one of the biggest steps that you've taken. You've taken actually the biggest risk in business. Starting is actually the biggest risk that business owners take. So the moment you start, then you've already taken the biggest risk in business. So that's the fear that I had to overcome, the fear of failure. Yeah.
You heard her. You heard her. Now take that leap of faith, guys. Just take that leap of faith. You have got your chances. You have got a better chance of starting that business and getting money other than you just keeping that money in your bank or something. Just take that leap of faith, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just,
So there's there's people have different definitions of success. But I want to hear it from you. What is your definition of success and how has it evolved over the years since you started your businesses?
So, how I define success. Okay, success is something very personal. People have different definition of success, and success is personal. So, people define success in others. It's others success is wealth. Others it's just fame. Others it's mentally. Success is personal. So uh, other people might say, okay, I'm successful because I've had these cars. Other people would say I'm successful because, I'm mentally healthy, or I'm successful. So success is personal. But then for me, I define success. That's why I define success as when you set a goal and you achieve it, that's success, regardless of what that goal is. So if I set my goal to say, uh, my business will be maybe in 4 locations in the next 5 years. And that's all I want. That's the goal that I've set. That's all. For me, that's success. Once I achieve that goal, then I'm successful. But then there are people who wouldn't view that as success because maybe they want to go international, to say, once my goal is to go international. So once I achieve that, then I'm successful. That's why I say it's a very personal thing. So success is personal. When you achieve a goal and you get to achieve it, then you're successful. Yeah. So the people who own 5 cars, 5 very expensive cars, maybe Lamborghinis, and they don't feel like they're successful because that's not their goal. Their goal is to own 10. But somebody who would own a Mac-X today, they are very happy and proud of themselves, and they call themselves successful because that's the goal that they set and they've achieved it. So that's how I define success as when you set a goal and you achieve it actually is success, then you're successful. That's how I define it. So in business wise also, if you set to say, okay, as for me, I'll be making 10,000 per month, that's your goal, that's all you want, and you succeed, you're making 10,000 per month, then you're successful. That's for you. And also the other people who would say, I'll only consider myself successful, I set a goal of making 100,000 kwacha per month. So if they make 50, they won't consider themselves successful. So success is personal, and that's how I define it as, success on its own.
some great insights. You talked about success being anything other than, people have based success um on a lot, or mostly on money, on how much money somebody has gotten. But you have spoken about different aspects of it. Success has got different aspects.
Yeah,
Looking at
also
mentality.
yeah, also on in business wise, just as a person who's starting, as an entrepreneur who's starting, success should not only be when in the long run, maybe you've been doing something for maybe 6 months and you haven't really seen what you thought you would actually, the goal that you set, just that experience that you've had, the experience that you've had is success on its own. The knowledge that you've acquired is success on its own. The starting, you taking the step of starting up, because not everyone owns a business, but the fact that you've owned one, you should consider yourself as a successful person. Because success in running a business, even knowledge itself, people won't tell you how to run those things. People won't tell you to say this is what you need to do, this is it. People won't tell you, but because you've acquired that knowledge, you've learned, that's already success on its own. And you need to be proud of yourself. Even if things are not really going, you're not earning the figures that you thought you'd be gaining or something like that, but even if you start again, you will literally not be on the same level that you were. You know what to avoid in that area of business, you know how to run that area of business, and eventually you're going to get to the goal that you want to get. So even the experience itself is success on its own. That's my definition of success. Because there are times where business hasn't really, I've started something and it hasn't really gone the way I expected it to go. But I was still proud of myself because I took a step of starting, and I took, and along the way, I learned, because all these things I'm speaking from experience. So that knowledge, if I start a business today, trust me, I'm not going to start it with zero. I know what to do and what not to do. That's already knowledge, and that's what's going to lead you to achieve those goals that you've set, the success in that business.
Yeah. You see, starting a business it's a win-win situation. It's either you either gain a successful business, or maybe you gain experience in what to do if you were to do something else next. So yeah, it's technically a win-win situation. It's not a loss at all, right? You would say that.
It's literally not a loss, because even one thing, like I talked about, having something, maybe setting aside, when you're starting a business and everything, most people tend to quit business in the first few months of the business, because it's not really going according to how they planned it. They planned on the business going, and they'll consider it as a failure. But you have to keep going. At least even when you're going to give up on something, let it be really okay. You've really given it your all. But things get hard. Keep on going. Gain the knowledge. Gain the risk. Learn how to manage those risks, those pressures, those stresses that come with that business. Yeah.
Okay, so Ivwananji, yeah, I would like to also ask, 5 years ago, did you predict that you would be at this point, or you would have whatever you have right now going?
I can confidently say yes, because I've always grown up to be this very goal-oriented person and very optimistic person. When I want something, I get it. I make sure that I get it, whatever it takes and how long it might take. So I actually thought I'll be in a very way better place than I am right now. Yeah, but we thank God for the grace, and I'm here, and I really did really see myself being here, because like I said, when I was young, I set goals, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be this, I want to be that. And setting those goals has really helped me just from a very young age to, go for what I want and push towards what I want. Yeah.
Yeah, I think at the end of it all, we just have to like put God, center God,
Always put God first, because when you're venturing into business, trust me, people are doing a lot of things in business. A lot of people want to see you want to see your downfall. Even people who are just, doing the same thing that you're doing. They don't want to see you succeed, because of course you're in the area of business. Even your own relatives, your own friends, they don't want to see you succeed. So always put God first. Make sure that you pray. Make sure that God is the center of everything that you're doing. It's very, very important, because without God, nothing can be done.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, interesting fact about Ivwananji. She not only has she been thriving in business, but she's also been doing very well in school. She's been getting honoraries from the rector himself, and she's been doing very well. She also has made her name reach the headlines on newspapers. Tell us more about that, Ivwananji. We really want to know.
Okay, so I would really to start with, would like to thank God for the opportunities, that He's really given me here during my studies here in Russia. So yeah, first of all, I don't even know where to start.
I don't know, man. There's a lot that we can talk about. Going to Moscow, she's been called to Moscow to speak on behalf of international students. She's been called to the Rector Gala to receive her diploma. There's a lot to talk about. Like, it's another whole other episode on its own.
Thank you. But yeah. So in school, well, yeah, for the opportunities that I've had here. So there was one time I had to travel to Moscow to actually speak. The minister, as I said, I'm doing agronomy, and it's Russia. So the president himself, or the Minister of Agriculture in Russia, wanted to know why foreigners travel to Russia to study agriculture. And our school, being one of the biggest agriculture schools in Russia, they had to select, and I was selected as one foreigner to represent actually the whole Russia in the agriculture sector, to represent and talk about why foreigners travel to Russia to study agriculture. Yeah, so we had, opportunities to interact with the Minister of Russia himself, the Deputy Minister of Russia, and the other Minister of Russia.
Whoa.
So yeah,
she's already greeted hands with greatness. So you already know she's a great person.
Yeah, so really thank God for all those opportunities.
Yeah.
So that's when you see us into my papers, that's why.
Yeah. Yeah, so Ivwananji, what would be your advice to somebody that's listening right now? What would you advise them if they wanted to venture into business right now?
Okay, that's a general question, and I would go on and on and on and on advising somebody. Yeah, but my first advice that I would give is, like I said, don't be scared to start. Trust yourself, believe in yourself. If you have had this dream or this goal, this business idea that you've been writing down for a very long time, but you're skeptical, just give it a try and start. Trust me, the moment you start, like I said before, that's already a very big step and risk that you've taken. So don't forget that part. Always make sure you just start. And then the other thing, when you start that business, I've already given the advice I can give, But all in all, when you start that business, don't forget to put God first. And when you start that business, when things get hard, just keep going, because it will get hard. And most people give up when it gets hard. But that's business. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But it's not easy. So when it gets hard, also you get hard in going, Keep going and just trust the process, Trust your own timing. Do things at your own pace, Don't look at others, No, these people are getting 10 clients in a day and I'm getting 3. I've been doing this for maybe 3 months, but these people are doing. No, trust God's timing. God's timing is the best. Be your own competition. To say, a month ago I was having 3 clients. Now this month I'm having 4. Be your own competition and give yourself some credit and trust the process. Trust God's timing. Because sometimes when you don't trust God's timing and you don't trust the process, you want to rush and look at other people around you. We tend to lose focus, you tend to lose your morals because you also want to get, you see, my friend has gotten a car. No, my friend is now building from the same business I'm doing one. Yes, we understand that it's business, but then trust God. The fact that you are able to keep going, at least you're earning something. One day it's going to work out, So trust God's timing and do things at your own pace, so that one day you don't go out of your morals. You tend to start using charms or things like that just so that you could be like other people, because it's frustrating. Business is frustrating. It gets frustrating when things are working out for other people and they're not working out for you. It really does get frustrating, but you have to keep going and trust God and trust your own timing to say, mango taipira pamo, one day it's also going to be well for me. Not all days are rainy. The sun is going to shine on me also, so that that will also keep on. I hope you keep going. So that's the advice that I would give to
Wow. Powerful. Mango taipila pamo. Translating as mangoes don't get ripe at the same time, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's a very powerful saying in the Bemba language of Zambia. And you should.
And also the other thing, surround, like I said, it's important. Surround yourself with very, very, very helpful people who are supporting you in this world. Friends, relatives, our people are the ones that bring us down. So make sure that you are surrounded with the people that want to see you get to where you want to go, because it's very rare to find people who are genuinely supportive and genuinely mean good for you. So when you have that, it's gold. Make sure you keep it,
Kumbata it. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us today. Ivwananji, you have been of great insight, and I bet a lot of people shall be inspired by this. Yeah, you are really you have gone into a wise entrepreneur, so to say. And it was so
by
amazing.
God's grace.
By God's grace. God is taking you to greater heights, and we pray for you and hope for the best, just for the best for you.
Thank you.
And just to close off the session, how would somebody who's watching right now be able to contact you or to reach you? What are your socials, man?
Okay. You can reach me on Facebook. On Facebook, NANJI Nawila is my username. And also, all my businesses have pages. So there's for the salon, Nanji's Glam Parlor. For the restaurant, there's Nanji's Matebeto Restaurant. For the clothing, there's Nanji's Fashion House. So you can reach me through those pages. Yeah.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna add the her socials just down in the description below. If you want to check her pages out, please do go down in the description and click that link. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment to the show. And also, don't forget to share, guys. You're helping me grow. And always glad to have you guys around. And stay blessed. See you on the next episode.